Hi students, in my previous videos I taught you the reciprocating compressors without clearance, and in this present video I'm going to teach you how the working principle and the work done formula are an analysis of compressor with clearance volume. See, first and foremost, I would like to tell you, I would like to compare these two, the compressor without clearance volume and compressor with clearance volume, the PV diagram. If you look at the PV diagram of reciprocating compressor without clearance volume, the diagram will be like this. This is the pressure and this is the volume, and there is no clearance volume there. So it is why it is not considered is because when you compare this swept volume or stroke volume, the value will be more and the clearance volume is very less, and compared to the stroke volume this value is very minute. So that is why sometimes this value is neglected. That is in the case of without clearance volume. So in the without clearance volume, so there will be only three processes that is shown on the PV diagram. So one is compression stroke, one is suction stroke, and one is delivery stroke. All right, so that is how it is drawn in, and it is shown in the PV diagram. So when it come to this with clearance, if we check the PV diagram clearly, so first it starts with some clearance volume, and then from 4 to 1 process. This is 4 to 1 process in the PV diagram shows that effective swept volume. What does this effective swept volume is all about? So effective swept volume is nothing but the piston which moves from bottom dead center to top dead center, which is in the case of vertical cylinder, or if it is a horizontal cylinder, right hand side to the left hand side, when it moves in that direction. So how much amount of that volume is swept by the piston is nothing but effective swept volume. All right, so that is the V1 minus V4, that formula, because V1 is the first volume at a point at a one state, and fourth state. So V1 minus V4 will give you the effective swept volume, and total swept volume, which is after delivery. So first that after the compression, even after the compression, so the delivery valve will open, and still that piston will further move towards the delivery valve, so that the compressed air will move out. So if you add that particular volume also, then we will get total swept volume. All right, so swept volume is equal to V1 minus V3 here. Okay, so earlier the effective swept volume was V1 minus V4, and swept volume is nothing but V1 by V3. So here we have to understand clearly the difference between swept volume and effective swept volume. Effective swept volume is the volume where which the piston will the volume which is swept by the piston. So during this compression stroke, all right. So total, that is swept volume is nothing but it is considering the delivery volume also. So that is effective volume plus delivery volume is nothing but swept volume. Now coming to this total volume, so we have to consider the clearance volume also. See, at the extreme position of the piston, when it is at the top dead center and above the piston, so there will be a space that is nothing but the clearance volume, where there is a space given for the air to be compressed. So that is the one reason for the clearance volume is existing. At the same time, inlet valves and exhaust valves both will be there, so that it will not come and hit the both the valves, and to avoid the breakage or damage of those inlet and exhaust valves, this clearance volume is provided, so that in that space that air is compressed, and that compressed air will move out to the desired location through the delivery valve. Okay, so that space is nothing but clearance volume. Here how can we show in this PV diagram? If you look at the PV diagram, third point, from third point to this zeroth point, that is nothing but clearance volume, that is V3 minus V3 clearance volume, that is nothing but VC. Okay, so that is how we understand the clearance volume and swept volume and effective swept volume. Okay, so now we will see process by process. Let us see D to A. D to A is the induction process. What is that induction process all about? So during that induction process, inlet valve opens and fresh atmospheric air is induced into the cylinder at a constant pressure P1 and temperature T1. Then see, look, if you the volume is induced, so VA minus VD, that is the volume of air is induced inside the cylinder, and obviously there is no heat transfer from the system to the surroundings. That is nothing but induction process. Now second one is A to B, that is compression process. This is the place where actually the air is compressed. So during this process, both the valves will be closed, both inlet valve and exhaust delivery valve, we can say. So both the valves will be closed, and whatever the air which is induced inside the cylinder will be compressed. In according to what law? According to the polytropic law, PV to the power of n is equal to constant. But if you look at the internal combustion engine, the air will be compressed, whereas in the case of diesel engine, air is compressed according to the adiabatic process, adiabatic law, PV to the power of gamma is equal to constant. But in the reciprocating compressors, it works under the polytropic law, which is nothing but PV to the power of n is equal to constant. So that is the major difference between these two. Now the pressure and temperature will be increased to P2 and T2 respectively. Obviously there is no heat transfer from the system to surroundings, so that it will be airtight, and there is no leakage of heat energy from system to surroundings. Now let us see clearly what is exactly the clearance volume is all about. So if there is a clearance volume, what are the advantages that we are going to see? The first advantage is it gives a mechanical freedom to moving parts. That's what I have told you. That two valves will be there, inlet valve and exhaust valve. So free movement will be there without any breakage or damage. So that's what the first statement gives. So gives a mechanical freedom to the moving parts. So next one is reduce noise and vibration during operation. So obviously, if there is a clearance volume, it reduces the noise, and if there is no the clearance volume, it makes lots of noise because of the moving parts and because of there is no gap as such. So there will be vibration during the operation. And the last one is prevent damage to moving components. So that's what I told, moving components, inlet valve and exhaust valve. So these are the advantages where you cannot come across when this compressor is given with clearance volume. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. So this is the analysis of the cycle. So already that what we have seen in the PV diagram, the previous slide, like D to A, that is 4 to 1 is effective sept volume, and 1 to 2 process, polytropic process, PV to the power of n is equal to constant, and 2 to 3 process, the delivery valve opens and the compressed gas starts delivering from the cylinder, and then 3 to 4 is again the piston begin intake stroke residual gas expand according to PV to the power of n is equal to constant. So this is how the what you call the cycle repeats. Right, the piston is sweeping due to between 4 to 1 process, and 1 to 2 process compression takes place, and 2 to 3 is the delivery happens, and 3 to 4 is again intake takes place. So this is how it happens in the reciprocating compressor with clearance volume. Now let us see the analysis part. If it is a spacing between the top of the piston and the valve heads when the piston is at the end of the delivery stroke. Good quality machines has a clearance volume of about 6%, but compressors with clearance volume of 30 to 35% are also common. See, actually the effective or optimum clearance volume should be around 6% of the overall cylinder size. So that is the optimum, but sometimes in some cases it will go up to 30 to 35% also will be common. Now, so because of the presence of clearance volume, volumetric efficiency always less than unity between 60% to 85%. Volumetric efficiency will be less because of the clearance volume. Now we will see the B to C. Already we have seen the 4 to 1 process, which is the D to A and A to B. Now here we will see B to C is delivery process. So what happens in the delivery process? Exhaust valve opens and that compressed air is delivered out of the cylinder at constant pressure, at P2 pressure and T2 temperature. So obviously there is no heat transfer from the air to the surroundings. Next, last one is C to D process, which is nothing but expansion process. So in this piston begins the induction stroke. During the expansion itself, once there is expansion is happening, at the same time there is a induction of, or the what you call, taking intake of this air from the atmosphere. This compressed air occupying the clearance volume expands according to the polytropic law, PV to the power of n is equal to constant, until the pressure and temperature fall to. So in this process, so till B to C process, it will be the temperature and pressure will be up to P2 pressure and T2 pressure. But when it comes to expansion process, the pressure and temperature will fall to P1 pressures and T1 pressures in the previous one. Why? Because the P1 pressure and temperature will be equivalent to the atmospheric pressure and temperature. Atmospheric pressure, we already know that it will be 1 bar, and temperature is around some 28 to 30 or 32 something. So obviously there is no heat transfer from the air to the surroundings. At the end of the delivery stroke, the clearance volume is filled with compressed air at the pressure P2 and T2. So this is obviously it is understood through my explanation. See, at the end of the delivery stroke, the clearance volume VC is filled with compressed air. Here I would like to go back to the internal combustion engine, what I have explained it to you. So during this internal combustion process, suppose if you take the diesel engine, so at the end of the compression stroke, air will be compressed, and it will be available in the clearance volume at that particular time. That is the end of the compression stroke. The what you call, the injector will spray the diesel fuel, and immediately combustion starts. That is how the internal combustion engine works. But whereas in the case of compressors, same like IC engine, so the clearance volume will be filled with compressed air. But here there is no combustion takes place. Whatever the compressed air is obtained will be taken out for various usage. All right. So next one is volumetric efficiency. V1 minus V4 is equal to V1 minus V3. All right. So next one, the work done formula. So assuming the polytropic index to be same for both compression and clearance expansion. So W is equal to n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. Okay, so here P4 is equal to P1, P3 is equal to P2. So if you equate what you call equal to both the pressures P4, P1, P3, P2, so then the equation will be W is equal to n by n minus 1 P1 into V1 minus V4 P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. Here P1 V1 is equal to m dot A, that is what kind of pressure is atmospheric pressure m dot A, and m dot D is nothing but delivery pressure, into P1 V1 is equal to mr. So m means ma minus md, and r is universal gas constant into T2 minus T1. So this is the work done formula, and the volumetric efficiency is also clearly given. So this is all about the reciprocating compressor with clearance volume. So thank you.